Hey guys, Gina Mizell back here again. I am the Oregon State football reporter for the Oregonian and OregonLife.com. Coming at you today from Logan, Utah. I am on day 4 of my tour throughout the state to report on a story about new Oregon State football coach Gary Andersen. And of course, Logan is the home of Utah State University, which is where Andersen got his first big-time FBS head coaching job and really orchestrated a masterful turnaround of this program that was really bad for about 20 years. He turned them into WAC champions, a top 25 ranking, and of course that then propelled him to get the head coaching job at Wisconsin. And something that I've really learned on this stretch of the trip is just, even though Andersen, of course, his hometown is Salt Lake City, much of his family is based there, and he spent so much of his coaching career at Utah, there's definitely a special bond between Andersen and his family and Logan and Utah State. Of course, the head coach of Utah State right now is Matt Wells, who was Andersen's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for 2 years before taking over the program after Andersen left. And he just talked about what a great mentor Andersen was and how he's not ashamed to admit that a lot of the foundational stuff that Andersen first built is stuff that he's still using to this day, from the way he treats players to their overall philosophies about core values and how they win games. And he pointed to a sign on his wall that I've seen up at Oregon State as far as the core values that he wants all players to abide by. So that was really interesting to hear from that coaching perspective. And then I've also spent some time today talking with 2 of Andersen's sons, twins Chasen and Hagen, who still live in Logan. Actually, Chasen plays for Utah State after starting his career at Wisconsin playing for his dad. And then also I talked to Mike Favero, who is the coach at Logan High School and first got to know Andersen on the recruiting trail. And of course, they became very good friends once Andersen got the head coaching job at Utah State. And, you know, they all just talked about the same qualities that we've heard throughout much of this trip, about how he's a loyal guy, about how he's trustworthy, about how he just really has a player-driven program and makes the players feel special and makes everybody feel special. You know, his sons talked about how he never put himself above anybody else, that he would invite people over for barbecues, and they obviously had a great time getting to know players at Utah and Utah State throughout his career. And then he calls a lot of those assistant coaches that have been with Andersen throughout much of his career, Chasen and Hagen, call those guys extra uncles, and so the relationships have clearly been a key thing throughout Andersen's career. So it's been really interesting just to see, again, the impact that Andersen is still having on this program. The locker room at Utah State is named after Andersen's family after he made a donation after leaving for Wisconsin, and Favero even said that he's going to go down as a legend just based on not just what he did with Utah State's program as far as turning them around, but just the impact he had on the community, and that he's still very beloved here in Logan. So that's all for today.